Hi everyone, this is Alan Rosinski of Metro Manhattan Office Space. Ever since WeWork's failed IPO in September 2019, there have been a lot of predictions that the co-working giant would collapse, and that would have major implication for commercial real estate markets, particularly in New York City, where WeWork is the largest commercial tenant. Now, when the pandemic hit in March of this year, that seemed like it would be the nail in the coffin of WeWork. And, there was a lot of concern that you'd have millions of square feet leased by WeWork coming back into the real estate market, and that would really depress, in addition to defaults by other tenants, the market. But surprise, there was an announcement in the last couple of days by Marcelo Claure, the new CEO of WeWork, that the company is anticipating profitability by next year, which is a year earlier than was initially predicted by Mr. Claure. So what happened? What is he saying? Well, first of all, the company really slashed expenses. They cut their personnel from 14,000 to 5,600. They terminated several leases. They renegotiated other leases. So this apparently is making a big difference. Also, Mr. Claure has claimed that June has had the best sales at WeWork since February, and that there's many large companies which are interested in setting up satellite offices for their teams at WeWork. So let's say a company is based in Manhattan, but a lot of their employees are in Westchester. So they lease space in the Westchester WeWork, and their team members there can work from home, but they can also go into an office 1 day a week, 2 days a week, 3 days a week, and it gives them a certain amount of flexibility. And the offices have been sanitized and are social distancing friendly. So apparently this has been making a difference. And certain companies in the last few months, such as MasterCard, TikTok, Microsoft, and Citigroup, have signed agreements with WeWork. So it seems like their costs are under control. They probably certainly have new leases. But, a big question I would think is whether the business model can still work. Because the way WeWork operated in the past is they would have a really high density of team members. You go into one of their facilities and they would just be jam-packed. People would be closer than 6 feet to each other. In a time of a pandemic, you wonder to what extent this is going to be viable. So, I think they would probably have to be selling private spaces at a premium, that they can't have the density they did before. And if they don't have the density of team members, the only way they can work around that is by increasing what they charge to lease space in their facility. The cost of a licensing agreement at WeWork has increased, particularly now if you want a fully private space. I would think that's the only way that WeWork can maintain revenue and move in the direction of profitability. Another factor which I could see which is probably or could be helping them is many tenants don't know which way the market's going. So let's say you have a 5,000 square foot space. 2/3 of your staff can work from home, and you want 1/3 of your staff to go into 1,000, 1,500 square feet, but you don't know which way the market's going. In that case, it would make sense to lease space at WeWork on a month-to-month basis until you see, with a certain amount of clarity, which way the market is going. Now, this is on the assumption that people feel secure, that staff members feel secure going into an office building, taking public transportation to get into their office, which is questionable. But this is potentially good news for the Manhattan commercial real estate market, because the last thing any landlord needed, or even New York City, is the collapse of the largest tenant. So we will see. This is a projection. We don't know what will occur, but I will continue to track this story. It's a very important one for New York City. If you have any questions, please feel free to tweet them to me. My Twitter handle is @MetroManhattan, and feel free to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Until the next time, take care now.